2, 3, 4. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have managed to get the stream starting again. And we are here for game 3. So, game 3 was a bit of an opposite game compared to game 1. Game 1 was very long, there was a lot of scaling involved, and in game 2 it just felt like it ended. When and quite quickly actually. So, what do you want to see here now from SBMT as they're back on blue side? Because what went wrong in that game 2 for them?
I think the biggest issue they had was just the early game not starting up properly with your comp with Sejuani. So I want to see them a bit more safe early game, secure some vision, and if they were gonna invade, just secure vision first, then move for the invade. Secondly, what I want to see is I want to see them time a bit better. So, for example, they had a bot lane gang. The Leona went in while Sejuani wasn't there yet. You wait 2 seconds and then go all in, then Sejuani is there earlier, so you can do more better. So, yeah, that's what I want to. I want to see them play better. Also, something we haven't discussed yet while we're going into draft, I do have to ask, what's your MVP from last game?
I only have one name in my mind, and it's Moonshade in all caps. That man played like Gosu. He played his heart out. Sometimes you think he would die, and he didn't. And he kind of showed his play from Split 1 in that Vin game.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. So, while we're going to draft, indeed, he gets MVP for previous game and this game. I want to see them spicing it up again. While I say that, I'm looking at the bands. I see the same bands as last game.
Yep, and I see a Kaisa first pick coming here. Never mind.
Looks like both teams have priority on the Annie, and the Annie is going to be locked in.
Do these teams read patch notes? I wonder.
A nerf doesn't mean a champion isn't viable anymore, buddy.
I know, but I'm trying to find an
Still offers a
excuse to
lot of
not
damage,
play
a
OP
lot of
champions.
CC, so I feel like it's a really good pick. We see the Ziggs being answered, so this is probably forcing the Annie more towards the bot side, because from what I know at least, the Annie Ziggs matchup is not really the best for Annie because you get outranked with the Ziggs. We also see the Nocturne being locked in again. Nocturne obviously was a really good pick last game. So PG so far just running it back with what they previously had.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if Me Team is going to pick something new, or if they're going to stick with the same plan as previous game again.
I kind of hope that they can pick something that can beat the Nocturne in the jungle. Misfortune being picked. So a big wombo already with Annie Misfortune. Are we going to see now support here as well? They played Leona last time. Leona Misfortune, kind of infamous for being an engaged lane and just dropping ultis on people.
Yeah, so I'm expecting either the Leona pick here, or maybe the Rakan again, which we saw in game 1, because they both work well with MF. As you see Jarvan being locked in, it looks like Me Team is building a full, hey, look at this Misfortune ult comp.
Now, you do pick the Jarvan when the AD carry isn't picked. Vayne kind of good into Jarvan. If he jumps on you with ulti, you condemn him. You can't get out of it. So, in that sense, Misfortune still really likes the Vayne being picked here. And you kind of want to. I kind of feel like you want to pick something else. Like Kai's being picked. This is actually kind of good into Jarvan. If you have a mark on anyone, you can jump out of Jarvan ulti or jump away from it, and then Jarvan doesn't do anything to you anymore.
A note on that, even with auto mark, you basically can, because if you hit the Jarvan with an auto attack, you can instantly ult out of his ult range. So
And
guys
even then,
can really escape the Jarvan really easy. So if they want to play this, they need some more lockdown with this. But PG knows this, so they first focus down the lockdown support. Leona's out. So what are you expecting from the rest of the bands right now?
I expect the Rakan ban to follow it up right away. Also, I like the set ban. I wonder if we're gonna get to see an Aatrox ban or maybe an Aatrox pick here. Yep, Rakan gets banned. They want to ban Terminator's comforts because then he can be weak sided. He can just chill on the side lane and farm up a bit, joust a bit with the laner. If he's off comfort and Kled being open, we might get to see a repeat here.
As Morgana is being banned. Quite a decent ban because you can secure that your AD carry doesn't get hit by CC. Well, not hit by CC, but you can secure that she doesn't get affected by CC, which can really make the Kai'Sa safe. It can also make the Nocturne really safe, and just in general cancel a lot of engage. So I like the ban as we see Taric being beautiful.
Taric! I think this is the champion to pick here, actually, if you look at it. It's like an enchanter, so you can shield up your Kai'Sa and give her all the buffs. You have the stun, you have the ult for peel, you have good lane trading with your passive. Elite champion. Camille, so a hard dive. Of course, Camille being, I think, one of the biggest top lane beneficiaries of the item rework in 13.11. Triforce being buffed, of course, a big item on her. Starix being good again, and Rel being picked. Of course, this is nerfed Rel. Still, champion's a bit broken. Works well with the Misfortune, works well with the Annie, well with the Jarvan, and Poppy being the response.
Yeah, Poppy is an obvious answer here. Poppy basically nullifies the Camille in lane and is able to lane against it. Even later in the game, you're still able to at least lane against Camille. You do lose later on, but you're able to face her. But this Poppy can cancel the Camille, can cancel the Jarvan, and can cancel the Rel engage.
Yeah,
But
I do.
then again, I do have to say sadly, we expected this from game one to be able to cancel all those engages, and game one it didn't really went as good as planned. So I hope that this Poppy steps up with the W, is able to block those engages and safeguard her team with that.
Yeah, that.
Taric obviously is really good with his ultimate to defend against Misfortune elf. The only downside about Taric, it takes some time to get down. So I feel like he has to actually predict when they engage, and the second the engage happens, he has to ult. He can't react. If he reacts to it, it's gonna come down to late, and you're gonna lose the team fight.
Again, I do like SBMT draft more. The Poppy, it didn't work in game one. And they haven't shown their ability of playing around the Poppy W. But even worse, you have Ziggs, Taric, and Poppy, which want to be engaged upon. They want people to go in on them. And then you have Nocturne Kai'Sa, which do the exact opposite. Kai'Sa, of course, can play back, but Nocturne is a really linear champion, and he has a button, he has a go button. But he has no follow-up for this go button apart from Ziggs ult and Kai'Sa ult, so I kind of feel like blue side draft here is a lot more coherent. It's very simple. We see someone, we nuke them. And there's no other way of playing this comp, so I like the ease of execution that SBMT have drafted. And I hope with their superior team play like they had in game one, that we can get another banger game here from them.
Yeah, so I'm really interested to see what exactly is gonna happen. Because like you said, it's a more easy to execute comp. It should be better on paper looking at the other comp. But if you look at what the other comp can do in theory, and if they manage to execute it, they should be able to face the comp of meme team.
Yeah,
But that's the problem right here.
if you had nameplates turned off,
well as PG to face the comp of meme team.
yeah, no,
We sadly saw problems with that in the early game. I hope it goes better for them, but I'm expecting this game to go towards the SP meme team, just for the because the comp is more solid. And I do have to say one thing: blue side is 100% win rate so far.
yeah, no, blue side OP.
Blue side OP. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe we just jinx it and red side's gonna win. But
I do want to say we do have Moonshade on a marksman champion again, so that's hype because Karthus, even though I love the champion, kind of is a bit sleeper, doesn't get much done in lane. You can camp again this bot lane because the one weakness in this SB meme team comp is if Misfortune is shut down and Annie isn't too fed, you don't have any agency in fights unless Camille is really fed and gets a bunch of these kills.
If MF falls too much behind, it's gonna be onto the Camille to make a pick or the Annie to make a pick, which is gonna be hard into the team of PG.
No, I don't.
So we'll see.
I don't know how bot lane actually plays out here, because I never see Tarek and I never see Rel and I never see Tarek against Rel. You'd think that Tarek would win, of course, because Tarek is such a strong laner, but with the Rel buffs, the Q being different, the E giving a bit of AoE damage, how do you think that Rel versus Tarek matchup plays out?
So I think the way this matchup plays out is Rel and Misfortune have way more burst damage, and if they can get the combo properly off on Kaisa, she might actually die with just the sheer burst of those two. If they manage to survive and drag it out into a longer fight, I feel like Tarek Kaisa will win every longer fight. But that's the question. Can you get to that point where it is a longer fight, or do you get bursted by the Rel Misfortune?
I also want to mention, I'm so proud of the rune choice of Annie here. Recognizes I get outranged, I'm never gonna proc first strike in lane, I'm gonna run electrocute just so I have a lot more burst. This is really good actually, it kind of covers what we said before, right? About needing Annie to make picks if MF falls too far behind. And Misfortune does seem to be going to lethality build, though the Duskblade interaction did get hotfixed. Still, probably is a good item with a bunch of ability-based damage. And Kanai gets a nice ward on the Raptors.
Yeah. One thing I find interesting as well is that Camille has opted to go for Ignite over Flash, which does give her more laning phase power, but in the later games she might have some issue getting on top of those priority picks you want to get on top of. So I'm interested to see if the Ignite will pay off for a stronger laning phase and getting ahead versus the later mobility in the Ignite.
I want to see... Actually, it's kind of funny. Both junglers have identical wards on each other's red buff. And they're both also being covered by a warded team play. So this is going to be really interesting to see if they just path exactly the same. I also did want to ask you, can Camille E-flash through Poppy W? Or
Yes.
will yes. So then, so maybe taking Ignite here isn't that good as well, because you won't have the gap close onto the Poppy, but...
The way you counteract this as Camille is this sounds weird for playing against the Poppy, but you actually want to get close to the wall. Because if you can proc your E fast, if she doesn't react fast enough, you can actually get your E off. And Poppy cannot E you because Camille E has priority over Poppy.
So the matchup isn't as wonderful as it seems.
Again.
And we saw Nocturne sneaking in to clear the Raptor camp, so that's a one camp gain towards the Nocturne.
So
kind of a
Nocturne
cheeky play.
It does have more camps right now, but he is slower on his clear. And he is moving slowly towards topside now, while Camille is backing currently. I'm not sure if she's gonna finish it, it doesn't look like it. But Jarvan is now in a position to be able to gank the bot side, while Nocturne is only in a position to farm.
But Bolin has that good ward in the tri-bush, so any gank, unless it's some crazy pathing, will get spotted.
Too early. They placed too early. It's gonna expire before.
Is it gonna expire? It just expires. No, that's so upset.
So this is probably a really good gank candle by the Jarvan.
Oh, but he gets spotted. He gets spotted by Kaisa. Ward gets dropped. It's just a scuttle play. I think you're kind of fine with it as Nocturne, because as Nocturne you're like, I just want my level 6, man. Oh, Kaisa walking forward. This seems a bit dangerous, but Rel split off. Jarvan now sitting in mid lane, but he walked over ward, so they know he was here. Starts channeling the recall.
Yeah, so I think as Jarvan you just want to either use EQ Flash and force an engage and really try to burst him down, or you just want to recall right now, go back into the top side and finish and clear the next spawn.
I do want to commend Peg here for their really good vision control. They kind of like spotted everything that Jarvan was gonna do. They knew he started top side. They knew he, then he knew they were bot side for the gank by walking up for it. They knew he was mid lane with that river ward, and we see the Nocturne going in. I don't think this is gonna lead to anything, because Poppy's a bit far behind and Camilla's E. But yeah, it's they're good at avoiding this Jarvan. As Annie goes in for a trade, loses it despite having the electrocute, has no potions to proc, doesn't have DTP either, so can't just really recall here without losing too much. And that's just gonna be 4 minions down the drain. Oh no, she cancelled it.
Yeah, so I find the gank on top lane by Nocturne was really well to release some pressure of the Poppy, because he was really getting shoved in heavily. By keeping the wave in front of her tower like that, she's able to farm it up cleanly, while the Ziggs is here pushing into the tower. I think Annie's gonna just chillax and farm in the tower with just low HP, because the Ziggs doesn't have mana, so can't really punish her for it.
Oh, we see an engage from the Rel. Does get traded back. Misfortune gets a few autos off. A bit of a slower game. Last time this game, there was already like a 1.5k gold lead.
Yeah,
now
so
it's just
we see a slight gold lead to PG. If you look at the gold,
oh, this might be a close call. Jarvan's gonna be here on time. He has smite, but Nocturne has it too. Does he go in on it? No, he does not, because he doesn't have backup. And that's just
small gold lead towards PG, probably mainly onto the Nocturne for stealing 2 camps, and with the slight CS lead on mid and bot. That's where most of the lead comes from. On top lane right now, we do see a Sheen on Camille, so she will be able to trade more heavily with the Poppy and probably do a lot.
so look at that Kai'Sa HP from the Q. Yeah, that's MF level 5 with 3 points in Q and no items. We do see Nocturne. He wasn't spotted because the vision didn't have range. But there are 2 junglers here in the bot side, and they're kind of debating each other here, I think. Also walking around, he's just gonna make the same play that the Nocturne is doing. They're gonna go in onto the Taric, flash backwards from the Rel. Fear goes down on the Jarvan. The Bomba comes in. Does anyone die? Rel goes back in for the turn. Gets stunned up. First blood to the Taric. Flashes out late afterwards.
Yeah, so the Rel jumping back in was just a big risk.
Wait, Annie
probably
has flash. Misses the Tibbers. Oh, that's not what you want to see. You would have really wanted to start with your Q there, so you can hold your ult for the flash, the ult W, and then ignite, get the kill. Sadly, doesn't happen. Wait,
so
solo kill on the top lane?
Yeah, apparently Poppy solo killed the Camille, which honestly is to be expected. Early game, Poppy is stronger than Camille, so that's a bit of a risk by Camille. I am interested to see how she died though, because she had an item advantage from the Poppy, so that's a little weird. Also for all the animains, like our...
Yeah, we get to see the replay here. Yeah, goes for a trade, gets cancelled, and it just fist fighting. Ignite gets dropped, doesn't even do that much. Poppy Q base damage is a bit too high, and yeah, that's just you're fuming right now if you're Camille. And we see, oh, we're missing a ball in play. Is that a kill? No, it's just Ignite being dropped. Oh, barely ticks, barely doesn't live. This Rel is really playing on the edge, but so is Nocturne. How much HP is he on?
I would say like 20 HP.
Yeah, 25 HP. Probably lived with 10 HP.
Yeah, so and what I wanted to say earlier for all the Annie players, if you're making a play like that on the bot lane earlier, where the Annie flash engage, there are 2 options you have. You can either flash W, because your W comes out faster than your ultimate, or you flash Q, wait for your opponent to either flash or not flash, and then follow up with your ult and W when they have done their other action. So you can just react to that because Q is flying.
We see a mana-less Ziggs kind of being hunted down by the Jarvan. Flash over from the Ziggs. Jarvan doesn't have vision to ulti. And we see a like 1.8k gold lead forming. Jarvan did pick up the Rift Herald, so he might be able to fuse that into someone somewhere, probably into the Annie or into the Misfortune, if you really want to get that useful gold. And maybe they can set up a freeze here to get a gank on that bot lane.
Yeah, so definitely interesting thing right now is with Poppy getting some more gold from the skill just now, she has the armor boost, so Camille won't be able to damage her properly yet. Camille damage will start really ticking up from around level 9 when her Q is max, and then especially again after level 11, because that's basically the threshold where her Q starts dealing more true damage than other damage. Before that, I'm not really expecting much from top lane unless Jarvan really wants to go there. So I want to see this Jarvan go towards mid lane where he just forced out the flash. That's the point where you can make a play. Make a play mid, get the
Drop
Annie
the
out,
Rift Herald.
use the Annie to go towards bot lane.
He's walking around the vision, wasn't spotted, waves a bit far, but Mokai Ba is just aware. He has the spidey senses, walks up a bit too far though, ulti is dropped, and he has the stun prepared, drops the Tibbers, drops the Ignite, and that's a dead Ziggs, just like how you said it should have been. Nocturne ult in the mid lane, it's a 1-for-1, should be a 2-for-1, Jarvan lives. Is Tibbers gonna get the kill though? And it seems unlikely as Jarvan will just pick up the wave, a plate being given over to the Kai'Sa and the Taric. And that's also another gold lead being formed over there.
Yeah, so I just want to compliment Nocturne here for properly entering the play on mid lane and getting the kill onto the Annie, so it's a 1-for-1 now. With the wave destabilizing again, that means didn't really lose anything, didn't really gain anything as back, but since you already have a lead as back, that's what you want. So right now the thing I'm surprised by is that Nocturne is backing and not calling over his bot lane to go for...
Oh, we see a bot lane dive, flash from the Misfortune, the Taric ult gets dropped. Yeah, what do you do here? I played against it on the PvE. Wait, the minions! Oh no, that's so big for the Misfortune. Because did Kai'Sa have a shutdown or not? I'm not sure. Poppy is low HP, does get back in, doesn't pick up the shield, is gonna die I think to the Jarvan. Ignite gets dropped. Is this gonna be a Rift Herald drop to get some money back into this Camille, get her Divine Thunder early? Yes it is. This is a big misclick from the Poppy because Camille now basically gets to get back into the game.
Yeah, when Camille gets Divine Thunder, that's actually the point where she starts slowly beating the Poppy. So with this, she probably has enough or is close to enough gold, but we see Nocturne moving into the top side, so maybe he's looking for something.
He doesn't have ulti, there's no play to be made. Poppy TPs, so you're kind of griefing your top laner there by thinning the wave out with your Q and your passive.
No, because Poppy Q will clear it all.
Poppy Q does clear it, yeah, you're kind of right. However, I want to look at bot lane itemization. Kai'Sa is not going for Shiv.
I'm happy. I'm so freaking happy. Finally!
I'm not. It's wrong itemization. Shiv would be so much better here. But we do see MF with the Ghost Blade. I would like the Dusk Blade more, even though it did get changed, because your ulti is just ability damage, and I feel like with the Ghost Blade nerfs, unless you really need the movement speed, Dusk Blade is better.
With the Dusk Blade, slight change to Duskblade, Yomus and Duskblade are both really good options on the map. I think the reason she's going for Yomus right now is to be able to follow her team around a bit better around the map. Because you do have the Jarvan, you do have the Camille, they can both dive in pretty deep, and you don't want to risk being out of range. So Yomus helps catching up with that.
See that movement speed? It's not funny. It's too much
also,
for tier 1 dudes.
That is basically right now, if you get hit by the Taric E, you're grieving as Misfortune. It should basically be able to get hit by that.
You're basically Max Verstappen in a Formula 1 car, and then there's a Taric on roller skates as I play from the Ziggs. He won't survive though. Looked kind of sick pushing him out. Nocturne does ult, flashes over, and Jarvan gets out.
Yeah, so again, nice attempt by the Nocturne to make it a 1-for-1 play, but he does come in too late, so Ziggs dies, but they do get the Dragon for it, so it's still basically an even play, but I want to see, I want Jarvan to keep doing this, keep the pressure onto the Ziggs. It's going to be a bit harder because it doesn't have
Top lane
quite enough.
solo killed. Yeah, you said that Divine Thunder starts beating down Poppy. Camille is back in the game, gets the first tower. I actually think dropping Dragon here for SBMT is not a bad thing. It's a Cloud Dragon, it's out of combat movement speed, you already have way too much of it anyway because you have Ghostblade Misfortune. And it was taken 14 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
If you want Soul now, you're gonna get it at 30 minutes, which is quite late. And
assuming that SBMT can fight properly for the next dragons, as Misfortune is also away for it. Assuming you can fight for the next dragons properly, giving out this dragon and securing the rest of the dragons means you actually get better buffs.
yeah, you
Even
get better
though
buffs.
the next one is an ocean dragon, so it's also kind of shitty, but
We just remember the meme I used to say early drakes don't matter because single drakes are worse than stacking 4 infernals. Finally,
Yeah.
that theory is true. But we also saw the first blood tower going down, the Rel dropping the ult, the ignite's being dropped, Kai'Sa getting exhausted, cleansing it, flash forward with the Taric stun, and is that gonna be a double kill? No, Misfortune flashes out. Oh, the Bomba! Oh, is that Leandris?
the NRS is enough.
Okay, this is just unlucky.
Well, the thing I'm not happy about is SBMT stepping up this much when you just used the MF ult for a wave. So they
Yeah.
know the MF ult's down, they know they can go for this play, as Jarvan is coming back towards mid lane again.
There's a flash, but he can't use it. Now it's 2v1. They're both quite healthy still, and the ult to block the Nocturne out. That's a 2-for-1. Oh, Rift Herald has to be for the taking now, right? Because that's another big thing you need. That's another way to get another tower, break open that mid lane. And yes, your bot side is losing, but look at your top side. Camille is huge, Jarvan is huge, Annie is gonna be unstoppable if she lands a stun on anyone. And, you know, if they did listen to stream, they would now have to start with Q instead of the ulti. Smite goes down, Jarvan picks up the Rift Herald, can't get a fast recall to reset. But no, there's a fight happening in the mid lane, a TP from the Ziggs. What's gonna happen here? Is it just a TP bait? And I think it is. Rel stuns him, walks away. Jarvan goes back to his Grump, because why not? Ult going wide.
Yeah, so I like the idea of PAG trying to force a play on mid lane. But they were just too slow again. Like, Tarek used his stun, the Iceborne passive was gone, Glacial passive was gone, so Annie wasn't slowed anymore, the Rel can cover for her. Yes, the Rel gets chunked, but it doesn't matter, she can get out and just reset again. So you use resources of PG, you sadly gain nothing. While it was going on, the Rift Herald is secured. I'm interested to see where this Rift Herald will go, probably towards mid lane, breaking open the mid lane and unlocking the Annie onto the map.
Yeah, you have to put it here, mid lane here. You've already lost your mid lane tier 1 here due to the Ziggs W being a bit too overpowered of an ability. And if you can break open this mid lane, it means you open the map for yourself a lot more, because now you have a lot of control. Andy gets engaged on, Tarek stun together with the Nocturne, shut down over to the Ziggs. Kai'Sa gets the kill, a TP from Poppy is a bit late. And Camille just gets to go out. No dragon up yet. Jarvan is looking, though I don't think it's a good play. Misfortune is around the corner, does have her ulti. Jarvan has ulti. If they clump up too much, I think this is a bit of a scary position here for PAG.
Definitely. They do spot out the Jarvan, so they're probably just gonna farm and back off. Jarvan just used his smite. I'm not sure what the cooldown is on his smite, but
Nah, it's back up. It's a 15-second cooldown smite. He had 2 charges. Dragon isn't spawning for another 40 seconds because that icon just showed on the map. It was a good pick from PEG, but it doesn't lead to a lot, some mid-tower damage. I would still be really scared if I'm Peg.
Definitely. Especially since one of your main carries, the Kai'Sa, does not have flash up.
He's about to get a cleanse up, but
if he gets locked up into the Jarvan ult with an MF guild going over it, you're
Yeah,
just
you're
dead.
not. You can't cleanse that.
So I want to see SBM team walk towards it, especially since the Poppy doesn't have TP and is showing top. So I want Camille right now to just teleport towards the bottom wave and go for the
No,
help
but
with the
you could also just go top lane and probably get a tier 3 tower even if you'd wanted to. No, if they go dragon, you still have Rift Herald. You can break open 2 towers because Poppy can't defend it. They would have to back off and recall, either slowing it down or not taking it at all. Instead, they're dropping in mid lane, getting that mid prio for the dragon. And yeah, you see now PAG responded fully. It will get the charge off barely. Doesn't kill the tower, sadly. So you don't get what you want. You do get some tower damage. You do waste their time a little bit. A flash engage onto Moonshade. Moonshade is 1 HP. The Cosmic Radiance comes down. But oh, you're so sad here. You almost had the best play of your life there to win and get that dragon. But no, it's a 0 for 2. You used your flashes for
my
a
biggest
cleanse.
problem with this play is your most fed member isn't there. Like, the Camille is really, really strong right now. She should be there. If you want to go for a fight like that, she should be there. Otherwise, you just don't go for a fight like that.
And
Also,
it's Mountain Drake.
boring soul.
I think if there's any dragon you wouldn't want to have spawned here for SBMT, it would have been Mountain. Mountain scales really well with Ocean because you just last longer in fights with more armor and MR. You get more healing later.
Yeah, so
It's also really good into their comp.
Big problem. If you give the next 2 Drakes to PEG, it's basically game over. You're not gonna have the damage to get through the champs anymore. So as SPMT, you really need to position yourself well for the next dragons, which is an issue because we're at 21 minutes. The Baron has spawned as well. So whenever you make the play for dragon, it could be answered with the Baron. Most of your base could be gone by then. So you really gotta be careful as SPMT for the next minutes. So what are you gonna do? How are you gonna do it? They used a lot previous fight. It didn't work. Try and make picks. Don't force the big team fights. You're not winning the team fights right now. Try to play around skirmish. Play around Camille's strong side, Jarvan's strong side. Go for the skirmish pick. And try to get the lead.
I do want to say though, Misfortune slowly losing more and more CS to the Kai'Sa, and the gap is slowly increasing. And we haven't really seen much impact from this MF, even though you have the Wombo combo team comp. I just want to see them play more around the Camille now to actually get the siege going, because Camille can't siege against the Ziggs. Sieging against Poppy also isn't her best strategy right now. So what is the plan here? Do you just go Hopebreaker on Camille, because you're gonna start losing fights from that one?
I think the thing you do is you send Jarvan towards whoever Camille's facing, and you just go all in the person that's in front of Camille. Just gank them, force them down, and get Camille pushing into the turrets. Yes, you might risk losing the Baron for it, but I feel like you right now want to play for this Camille.
Camille does have TP, so she could TP to a fight if it were to start happening. And he gets caught out, gonna get feared, gonna get turned on. The Tiber's kind of mad that you're killing her owner, but he's low. He can die here. Oh my god, no way. There's just no way that he lives. There's a Jarvan, goes on him, gets the shutdown. But Kai'Sa's not gonna kill the Misfortune. That Kraken Slayer damage is a bit insane. And
yeah, that Kraken Slayer plus Kai'Sa passive, that's doing a lot. Right there, I'm not happy about the Misfortune of using her ultimate on the Nocturne. I understand her feeling, you think you can kill him before the character comes down, but why are you risking it? You're behind, you aren't in the position to risk anything, so just force it out.
Yeah, I think if she would have ulted, they would have probably gotten the chance of doing the Baron. And then Ziggs drops another bomb on a tower.
Yeah,
committing almost real acts of terrorism here.
So again, Poppy is just facing Camille down, and Camille can't do anything really in this position. At this point, I feel like as Camille, you just start forcing trades under Poppy's tower, as weird as that may sound. So just like go for tower damage, get chunked for like 20% HP, and just don't care, because you have Defiance that can't really engage onto you anyway.
She's already chunking Poppy to half HP. There's a Nocturne ult coming in though. Can the Camille survive? Gets the EO way out of the fear. And that's a Nocturne ult wasted.
Yeah, especially with the Dragon coming up soon, using the Poppy ultimate and Nocturne ultimate might open up for some picks somewhere else.
Is Kai'Sa caught being too much alone? No, but the tower is gonna drop, which for SBMT is quite big. They are getting flanked by a Taric. I want to see what's happening mid lane. Can Riot directed camera please show me there? Nothing's happening. Never mind, Riot. Still, we saw the Poppy still trading with the Camille. We see Annie top lane, so she's not here for the dragon. It's gonna spawn in about 20 seconds. Okay, well, Fizzler, I see directed camera. It's not your fault, okay? Actually, no, you are doing it. Well, I'm sorry. You're doing your best. Anyway, dragon being started up here.
I want to see him ult just go down.
Yeah,
on
just ult it. You have to. Can he go into smite? He steals it! Good steal! Delaying soul, getting a mountain. Are they gonna back out? They're just ignoring Jarvan in the pit. Nocturne's gonna go in, Kai'Sa's gonna go in, the bombs are being dropped. Camille is surely gonna go down here. She's ulting. Nocturne is dead too. The Taric ult comes out. Are they gonna try and find a way to turn it?
Right now, as game team, you just want to walk out. You got like one. You got the dragon. You got the pick on Nocturne. It's a 1-for-1 in terms of picks, but you got the dragon. So right now, just play it safe. Go catching the waves again, and try again in 5 minutes. You
right
got, like,
now,
just stall out the game.
Right
this
now,
is really that dragon will have insane value because it will make sure that whoever the Nocturne goes on won't die immediately. The Nocturne did build a bit offensive with the Prowler's Claw. So Nocturne will have to either build more damage now to kill the target he's going on, or he has to build defensive and just try and sustain through it. Both, not the best options for Nocturne. I
think right now, if you're SBMT, you're riding on the Kotaki hype train. This man with a great steal hasn't died yet this game. The only one with a shutdown on his team as well. Also ahead in farm. I think he's playing really well given the current situation, given how behind his team is. And it really is just still a game that can go either way, I feel like.
Yeah, so now again, I think you reset, you put the Camille again against Poppy, you just force trades against Poppy, try and bait somebody else there, try to get the Nocturne there again. You're a Camille, you're gonna escape, or you can even 2v1 them. As we see PG starting up the Baron, they have no vision.
They had no vision because he walked through the little packet of the pocket of fog packet. What I'm even saying, but Jarvan now surely will know. He does know though. He can't contest it. It's not worth it. Not worth a shutdown either. And they just have to start clearing these waves now.
So well done by PG being able to sneak the Baron away. That's definitely some more gold in the pocket. And they might be able to use the pressure enough to get into a secure position for the dragon. But yet again, the possibility for a steal is up. We saw that earlier, it can happen again. As we see number advantage for Minty on the top side.
Oh, we see an engage inwards. We see a MF ulting, but there comes the Radiant. I don't keep forgetting what it's called, but Cosmic Radiance coming down. The Taric going in to try and kill the Jarvan. Camille gets the shutdown on the Ziggs. The Taric also gets killed. It looked really bad for a second there for SBMT, but they managed to get 2 kills out of it.
Yeah, the end result is a 2-for-1 for SBMT. 1 core member down. Ziggs is down. Ziggs is the main Siege champion of PG. With the main Siege champion being down, sieging will be a lot harder. We see the Poppy pushing down on bot lane. She probably is going to back off because it's just too risky with the Jarvan and Camille coming in. And you basically nullified most of the Baron right now. The main Siege isn't there. the support being able to protect their team isn't there, so PG has to back off.
I
Have to
I
respect,
kind of
and
wanna
now both teams will probably look to set up for the Dragon.
I kind of want to see Camille actually build the hull breaker. I kind of memed it before, but Camille can just really be a side lane threat, and even with the hull breaker be a problem. She still has the TP, so it's still an option, even if it's only for a few minutes. Is she getting caught here though? Nocturne ult goes down. Kai'Sa is there. Kai'Sa has ult. Fear still connects. Rel is there. Rel is gonna die too. An overstay from the Camille. And yeah, no, Baron back into play. Your nullification play thrown out the window.
Yeah, definitely. But something right here to watch for though. Jarvan is there with ult up, and he's there with ult up, and Misfortune is there with ult up.
The mid lane is dying while
They have
Ziggs.
to enter in the mid lane because of Ziggs, but they can look for an engage on bot lane if they move back again.
Yeah, but now they're playing for split. MF ulting to clear the wave. Big ult! That's a Poppy down. Of course, only the Poppy. Flash forward from the MF, gets down the Cosmic Radiance. Jarvan's still here though. He still has ult. Kai'Sa also has it, but Kai'Sa doesn't ult away from the Jarvan ult. Gets the 1k shutdown. Kotaki, are you the GOAT or what? He keeps chasing because he knows he can get more. Bit of a weird TP from the Camille. Still though, massive play coming out of the SBMT jungler. And a good ult to start it off with from the
With this
MF.
TP from Camille, they can move over to the Dragon, which is spawning right now. Poppy is dead, Kai'Sa is dead, Taric is dead. This is a free Dragon for SBMT, which means they're even on Dragons again. The resist on the mountains are really gonna start kicking in right now, and it's gonna be a lot harder for PG to play this game, because in terms of effective Dragons in team fights, it's 2 against 0.
I'm grinning so hard right now because oh, they're actually stacking dragons that are impactful, and I finally feel like someone agrees with me when I say early dragons are just a waste of your time. Though that is the biggest copium I think I've ever said in the last couple of weeks.
They're only a waste if you can secure the rest, and if they're bad dragons. In this case, they are not dragons that are well for team fighting. SVNT does have the dragons that are well for team fighting, and it's showing. Again, the resistance is making sure that the members stay longer alive, and they can do more stuff with that.
And it's all happening through this Jarvan pick. Jarvan, after a few patches, kind of went under the radar again, even though he got like what, a 10 damage nerf and his W shield nerf. This champion has been super strong for so many patches now, and it's showing. This champion is just broken.
Why don't you play more?
Because you know my Nidalee is good. And we see Rel losing half her HP to just isolated Kai'Sa. You know?
Yeah, this Kai'Sa's hitting like a truck with a Q. Why? Navori. This
Navori.
is Navori, Witch End, LDR, Kraken Slay Kai'Sa. This is almost a full build Kai'Sa. She hits like a truck, but with the team fights, she can't really properly use it with every team fight we see.
Oh my, oh. Jarvan walking around, throws the flag down so he gets vision, goes in on the Kai'Sa. I think this is a little too deep because the Cosmic Radiance come down. The Bomba, the ulti comes down, but it does nothing because everyone's just immune. The engage comes in too late. You get the kill. Oh, Jarvan goes in, but I think he's gonna die to the Kai'Sa. The W misses. A 3-4-1. This is not what you want right now if you're SBMT, because this could just be game.
Yeah, so this was overforce going too deep. Right now, you have to get back, get your HP up, and try to defend under your Nexus turret.
Luckily, the mid lane wave isn't too big. You're only going to lose an inhib tower here.
You're going to lose both in it. You have to. If PG is smart, they back off, they reset, and they move towards the Baron. Baron spawns in 20 seconds, so you want to reset, get your items before then, and look for that.
You have one more lifeline now of your SBMT, one more fight, and the game is basically over. And that's why I don't play Jarvan, by the way. It's too easy to overforce on that champion. And you know me, I go a bit crazy. And that's why I respect Kotaki. He goes for something, it doesn't work out, still lives like a Chad.
Yeah, so I think the main... I don't even think the engage was the main issue here. I think that the secondary engage coming on top of the Taric with the ultimate and the Misfortune ult also landing either short or still hitting the targets that Tarek ulted is where it went.
They should know now that the Baron's being started, but they're not walking to it. It's already half HP. It's dead. Again, another sneak. There's just not enough Baron vision. Camille's isolated. Jarvan was bot lane. And now it looks really grim. Because now it's not even you have a lifeline. You have to fight now. Because they don't need to fight. They just need to shove these waves in, get them in. They're gonna take top tower in, top inhib. And you have to get a good engage here.
This is a really good play for PG. You had the side lanes pushing in with super minions. So going top lane and slowly going for this tower is gonna be worth it.
An EQ4 from the Jarvan, Misfortune drops E, nothing happens, a bit of jousting, a bit of intimidating activity. Jarvan goes in, baits out the engage, the fucking radius go down, the turret goes down, but no, you get nuked, the Annie goes down by the Ziggs ulti, so does the Rel. Camille goes in, gets blocked by the Poppy W. It's a 2-for-2. Can you clear this bot wave? Can you stop them from ending here? You still have your Camille. No, those minions are insane. But he's gotten onto Moonshade. He got onto Mokaiba. Is Moonshade gonna die? No, he's not. They killed the Camille. Oh, Misfortune's dying too. You're trying your best. Jarvan ulti, and it's huge. Can he kill Terminator? Can he defend the base? He only needs 11 seconds until Rel spawns. Can Terminator end the game? Is he gonna kill the Jarvan? Jarvan dies, and that's GG for PEG.
Yeah, so insane last game. Really close fight, really close game. But PG managing to move around the map better, get those Barons going, and with those both Barons, end the game. Really well played by PEG.
Yeah, no, this was a strong fight from SBMT. They really did their best, got that game on victory, almost clawed it back in that game 3, looking really strong, and a bit of a heartbreak because they did look so strong in game 1. But you have to applaud both PEG and SBMT here for the level that they've shown, being 4th and 5th seed in their group.
Yeah, so another question. In your opinion, who would you give MVP to in this last game?
Ungentleman. I think the Tarek was too important. I know Kaisa did a lot. I know Ziggs did a lot. But if there wasn't a Tarek there who uses ulti well, who uses stuns well, who kept everyone alive with the healing and shielding, the game was over. I think if Tarek wasn't there, SBMT would have taken the series.
Yeah, definitely. In my opinion as well, Tarek just showing up with protecting their teammates really well is the thing that made the difference in these team fights. The stuns, the invulnerabilities is what made the difference.
Hello.
And we have our interviewee. I guess a bit premature, but welcome, Moonshade. Congrats on the victory.
Thank you.
We saw you on the Kaisa and the Vayne, both a bit of on-hit champions and both dealing those champions that deal max health. Is that just what you prefer to play? Or is it just you know that they're strong in the meta, you know you're confident on them, and you know you can win on them?
I mean, I wouldn't say Vayne is strong in the meta, but it's also a shame that I play for already long time. So yeah, and I feel like it's easier to, like, I like champions that I'm like I can rely on myself, you know, and those champions like fit that.
Yeah, it is a. I can totally understand that. Of course, Vayne spotting always or kind of is annoying, but when you're playing Vayne well and no one gets on top of you, if you feel like you're in heaven, right? So yeah, I have a question about the change in draft going from game 1 into game 2. On game 1, we saw you on the Karthus, and it did seem to work a little bit. So why did you guys deviate away from it in the other 2 games?
Well, that game was kind of a first time Karthus for me. I wanted to play the chef because I still do say that chef is insanely broken. But yeah, I mean, as we saw damage shards, like that champ goes crazy. I just don't know how to play it much. But then we went just for comfort, you know, because we lost game 1, so kind of need to win the other ones.
Yeah. How did you feel after that loss in game 1? Because at the start of the tournament, you were a pool 1 team. You also were you MVP last split, or are you at least top 3?
Yeah,
How-
it was. Yeah.
How did it feel being in the lower bracket and then all of a sudden losing game 1?
I mean, I would say that probably if I wouldn't like nap too many times, sleep too much, we would have been on the winners tournament or whatever it's called. Yeah, but yeah, well, unlucky. I missed one game. Yeah, that ended up being kind of like, how can I say, as important, I
Yeah,
didn't think it was that important, yeah, but it actually was important at the end. Yeah, I mean, it was chilling.
it was
Having fun.
chilling.
Yeah, having fun.
So, Moonshade, that's interesting. With all 3 games being played, who, in
Mhm.
your opinion, was the most important member combined with the 3 games?
I would say my mid laner, to be honest. Mid laner, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you asking from the enemy team or my
no,
team?
just
In general,
in
just
general,
both.
yeah,
Any team?
yeah.
Okay, that's I would still say my mid laner. He stepped up today. My guy, get it.
He almost carried at game 1. He was sold in game 2. The Ziggs is just being
Yeah,
able to
Ziggs
play
goes
Ziggs
crazy.
already. It's so disgusting, the
bomb them,
tower
man.
destruction. And yeah, no. And we were thinking in that game 3, we gave the MVP to your support actually. What is it like playing with Tarek? Because I feel like that champion is just never seen. It's never really picked. It's very niche. Do you guys have experience with it, or was it just like, oh, they're drafting full engage, you just pick Tarek, YOLO it?
Yeah, I mean, it was obvious, right? Because like enemy just speaking full engage, kill ADC comp, and we are like, well, what do we do then? We pick Taric or Brom. One of those two is like really OP there. So yeah, we just picked Brom. Not Brom. Taric. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just really free, the champ.
Neil, do you have any more questions? Because I'm running blank.
Yeah, of course. Right now, you won your first series. Who are you looking forward to play for your next series?
I'm gonna be honest. I think both teams will be fun. But I think both teams will be fun.
I think
Wait.
that's also what's most important, right?
Yeah. I'd not really have like a choice. Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to say to either Adaptive or MG heading into their series?
Play your best, bros. Make it entertaining. I wanna watch good gameplay.
Yeah,
Let's
no.
go.
If we get another series like this, I'm afraid I'm gonna lose my voice if I'm casting again.
You're not, so you're not gonna lose your voice.
Luckily, I'm not.
Uh,
Anyway, yeah. Was that it from you as well, Neil?
I think with that, Munchit's done, you're done. So with that, the only thing that's left to say is that we're looking forward to the next games that are being played. That's going to be tomorrow at the same time. There will be Krusty Crew versus the McDonald's Freedom Fighters.
I know that we are a bit biased, but that sounds like a banger matchup to me. Definitely something you should tune in for.
Sounds like an easy clap in mid lane.
I am not gonna comment on my mid laner's ego. I think that's it from us today. We hope to see you tomorrow if it's being streamed. Otherwise, on the next stream, which will be Saturday. I believe Saturday is MG versus Adaptive, and Sunday is the rematch of the split one between CBS and SPD. Very tense matchup. Whoever wins, whoever loses gets knocked down to the losers bracket, which would be really exciting. So tune in for that game as well. I am
Banger.
Siba, my co-caster Benboy, and probably should have got an MVP for this series, Moonshade. And